Hi y'all, Tom, ND3N here, and I'm here today to give you a list of radios, HF radios, that cost between $2,000 and $4,000. Now the same ground rules apply as with the two previous videos. I'll let you review those for yourself. Two reasons. First off, I want to save a little time in filming and post-processing and get this out to you as quickly as I can. Secondly, I'm feeling a little lazy today. You can relate, I'm sure. Now, before we move on to the radios, I'll let you know, and this is my caveat, I'm not endorsing any of these rigs, neither positively nor negatively. I am simply providing you some information so you can go out and make your own decision. Now, all of these radios will get you on the air. And to be fair, as I've said before, the person on the other end won't be able to tell if you're using a radio that costs thousands or hundreds. This is the third video in the series. The first was for rigs under $1,000. The second radio's from $1,000 to $2,000. And the next one will be HF rigs over $4,000. Obviously, this is the third in the series, $2,000 to $4,000. I've sorted these starting with the lowest MSRP and moving on up. Now, all of these rigs include an internal antenna tuner and internal Morse code keyer. In the previous videos, that wasn't always the case, but since these all include those items, I'm not putting them into the individual descriptions. They also have advanced digital signal processing, or DSP, and better receivers. Some of them even have more than one. At least better receivers than the ones we've looked at previously. They sell them for more money because they put more effort into them, better parts, all of that. With that out of the way, let's get to looking at the radios. We start with the Yaesu FTDX-3000D at $2,099.95. This is a hybrid SDR with a maximum current draw of 23 amps. So as before, I recommend a minimum 30 amp rated power supply. This rig does have a really nice high contrast LCD 4.3 inch touchscreen. The rig operates on the bands from 160 through 6 meters with output at 100 watts except on the AM mode where the max power is 25 watts. CAT controls are via a DB9 RS-232 serial port and USB. Now the next rig is the TEN-TEC OMNI 7 with a cost of $2,699. Now, I got a description off the TEN-TEC website. I edited it down a little bit, but this is pretty much word for word what they said because I thought it just described the radio so well. It says, the TEN-TEC OMNI 7 is the first truly net-ready ham transceiver. No PC is required at the rig to operate remotely. Locate your OMNI 7 anywhere you have wideband internet access. Connecting its Ethernet port to your router delivers live, receive, and transmit operations from anywhere else in the world where you have another wideband internet access. A simple graphical user interface, or GUI, is written for the OMNI 7 and is available for download at no charge from the TEN-TEC software download page. Now, who says I don't like marketing departments? The rig pulls 25 amps when transmitting using full power, so it has a minimum 30 amp power supply, but I would recommend using something larger. The rig transmits from 160 to 6 meters with 100 watts available on all modes. CAT control for this rig uses an RS-232 DB9 connection. This is more of a traditional radio, meaning not an SDR or a hybrid, but it's got some of those features, but it's leaning toward the traditional. Bonus here, this radio is made in America, in Dayton, Ohio, and Sevierville, Tennessee. Now, I live less than an hour drive from the Dayton, Ohio factory, and plan on trying to get permission to film a video tour of that plant. I think it would make an interesting video. The next rig is an ICOM IC7610, which costs $3,299.95. It is a hybrid SDR that transmits 160 to 6 meters at 100 watts, 25 watts on the AM mode. CAT control is by two separate USB connections, one for the radio control, the other for digital data input and output. Next, we have the Elecraft K4/10F with a cost of $3,500. Okay, we got to work this out. $3,599.95. The rig has a max current of 25 amps, so at a minimum a 30 amp power supply should do, but I'd still recommend something larger. It is a hybrid SDR that transmits at 100 watts from 160 to 6 meters. This rig has an Ethernet cable for connecting to a router for remote operations, and it has two USB cables, one for rig control and sound card input and output. The other is for use with a keyboard, mouse, memory devices, etc. Next, we have the Yaesu FTDX-5000MP-Limited. It comes in at $3,789.95. It transmits on 160 through 6 meters at 200 watts, except in AM mode where the power is 50 watts. The rig pulls 53 amps at max transmit power, so a power supply in excess of 60 amps would be required. CAT control is via an RS-232 serial port with a DB9 connector. Now this rig does not have a display screen. Another Yaesu, the FTDX-101D, is a hybrid SDR that pulls 23 amps at max transmit power. You know what that means. This rig transmits 160 through 6 meters at 100 watts and has both RS-232 serial and USB ports for CAT control. Finally, coming in just under our cutoff of $4,000, the FlexRadio 6600 costs $3,999, and this is a full SDR. It transmits on 160 through 6 meters at 100 watts and will draw 25 amps during max transmit power. Now, for any Flex radio, do your research. These guys have really set themselves up. They're a different radio than any other radio that we have on the list, and you should know those differences before you buy. For those who I've met who own Flex radios, they absolutely love them, but a minority of owners hate them. Now try to figure out which group you belong to before spending your hard-earned money. Don't forget, likes are free and only take a moment of your time to click on that thumbs up button. Please share this content with others who may be looking for new rigs in this price range. And once you purchase a radio, whether it's on this list, one of the other lists, something completely off these lists, please leave a comment below and share what you got yourself with everyone. As always, I'm at your service. I'm Tom, ND3N, and thanks for dropping by my little shack in the corner for a ham shack chat. 7-3 for now, and I'm out.